बीएमएस एकेडमी में आपका स्वागत है।
In this class, we will learn about dimensions. That is basically a drawing is made and then we have to dimension the drawing. We have to mention the size of lengths, size of diameter of circles or diameter of arcs, ellipse, diameter, rectangle size, and the total size of the drawing is to be mentioned in the drawing. So this is one important part of dimensioning. This dimensioning, we learn about dimension commands, dimension horizontal, vertical, align, angular, leader, and dimension properties and how to change the dimension properties. Now I will open the AutoCAD. This is how it looks. As you know, I have brought most of the menus here. Toolbars also is brought over here, most of the toolbars here. I repeatedly mentioning you about this because let it be registered to your mind how to bring the toolbars. So these are the tick marked one is all brought on the screen. So here there is a pull down menu dimension. So this contains all related to dimensions. See, linear dimensioning, align dimensioning, arc length, coordinate dimensioning, radius, jog, diameter, angular, baseline, continue, dimension, space, break, multi-leaders, tolerance, center mark, inspection, etc. All have been mentioned in the dimension. So let us take a typical drawing. I will just draw a drawing here and let us see how we can dimension it. Arbitrarily I will draw some rectangles. Join it, make it perpendicular. Now the edges also I will trim it off. Now this is a drawing. I will draw the side view also. This is some sort of a block. I can draw it perpendicular by typing P like this and like this. Then trim the length. This is the side view of the drawing and this is the front view. So the bottom view also we can draw if necessary, but anyway for simplicity we will draw bottom view also, how the job looks. Then either you select the perpendicular line somewhere here like this, and if you focus on this, the line extends only up to that point and its length will be approximately this in the dimension. Right, and then we will see how to dimension it. Trim. So you make it zoom extent. We can just reduce zoom out so that you can see outer space clearly to dimension. See, here is a dimension. See, we can dimension this, we can say linear dimension. You click on this, it shows straight line, or there is a dimension command also here. This is also linear dimension, this is angular, this is a shortcut menu, and the toolbar. So these are the dimension. So we will click the dimension. Once you click here, click here, dimension. So this is how the dimension. Similarly, if you want a vertical, click here, click here, click here. You will get into that. And suppose from here to here, click here, click. Once again, from this point up to here, like this. Like this. Like this. So this is what linear dimension. We have dimension horizontally and vertically, and even in the side view also we can dimension like this. Side view also we can dimension. Like this. See here, this thing shows actual dimensions. 320.13, this is 199.13, this is 77.97, 56.5, 76.93, 63.53, and this is also 78.42. So the job is dimensional. Now, we should know much more on this dimensioning. You will notice here the arrow mark. This is an arrow mark. Okay, and size of arrow is not known at present to you. And this is the dimension digits and dimension text matter. It's the dimension, size, height, nothing is known. Okay. So we have to decide on these things when we dimension the drawing. See, suppose this is a drawing. This is the sizes as given. Suppose we want to draw on a A4 sheet or A3 sheet, or whatever may be the size. Depending on that, we will select the scale. You know, scale is scale factor. You know what is the scale factor? Say the drawing size to the actual size is the scale factor, or in other words, we can mention it in the form of a fraction. That is actual size on the drawing. If you measure on the drawing, you print the drawing. If you print the drawing, if you measure on the drawing the size divided by actual size of the object is the scale factor in the fraction value it is expected. It is to say 1:4. If 1 is the actual size of the object, 4 is the actual size of the object is 4, where 1 is the actual size on the drawing. This is how scale factor. So I will write here. I will write here. Equal to measured size divided by size. This is called scale factor. So suppose the measured size is 10 mm and actual size of the object is 100 mm, then the scale factor is 1, and 1:10. That is the scale factor. Sometimes we can say is reciprocal as 10. It is understood that measured size of the drawing divided by actual size is the scale factor. 1:10, 1:4, 1:10, 1:100, like that. So when we plot the on a drawing sheet, the size will reduce. See, for example, we plot to size 1:10. That is the actual size. On the drawing, it is 320 becomes 32.013. Similarly, this becomes 7.3 842. If you draw it to 1:10, then what is going to happen? The entire drawing is reduced to that size. Then the letter size is also reduced by 1:10. Okay, letter size is also reduced to 1:10. Arrow size is reduced to 1:10, and all these dimensions are reduced to 1:10. So, but if the sizes of text matter is reduced to 1:10, then it becomes small. And suppose we see, let me measure the height here. So approximately I can measure the height here. I will just to show you, I will measure the height. So this height is, actual height is 2.7. 2.7 is the actual height. So 2.7 will come down to 0.27. The height of all these text matters digits will come down to 0.27. 0.27 is very small. You may not be able to see. So what you have to do is, if you want the size of the text matter to be equal to the size what actually you have indicated, you have to reduce the size, you have to increase the size of the text matter by the scale factor, that is by 10. Reciprocal of the scale, we have to increase by reciprocal of the scale factor. Or in other words, we have to divide the size of the actual size by the scale factor, that is 78 divided by 1:10. Then it becomes 78. It becomes, the size, height becomes 27 on the actual size on the drawing. But we can, since it has been reduced, its size has been come down. That is, suppose this is 2.7, we have to, the actual size, if you want the actual size on the drawing is to be 2.5 mm height. Here it is shown 2.5 or 2.7 approximately. If you want that size to be on the drawing, printed drawing is to be 2.5, then it has to be 25 here. That is, it has to be divided by the scale factor or multiplied by the scale factor, multiply the scale factor. That is whatever you get, 78 divided by 1:10 if it is over there, or you simply multiply by the denominator of the scale factor. Okay, this is how you can do. See, for example, I will say this is this height. I will write here text height equal to say 2.5 on drawing, we'll say, and scale factor is equal to 1 divided by 10. Say this is equal to 0.1. But on the drawing, this we can call text height on the model space. This where we are doing the drawing is called as model space. Okay, this black screen is called as model space. The height on the model space is 2.5. So scale factor is 0.1. So suppose we take the print of this actual print to this scale factor, then what is going to happen? The drawing size will reduce by 1/10. Then the text size also reduced by text size is equal to, is reduced by 0.1. So it means the actual on the drawing print text size is equal to 2.5 multiplied by 0.1. This is equal to 0.25. But 0.25 mm actual on the drawing sheet is very small and you can't even read it. So for that what we have to make is we have to increase the actual text size on the model space to 25. Then it becomes, if I increase to 25, it becomes 2.5 on the actual drawing, printed drawing. So here I have to make it 25. Okay, so from this you can conclude that the scale factor is to be multiplied by the actual text size. Then we get the actual size of the text on the printed drawing. So that is what. So it means we have to increase the size of this text matter on the drawing. Increase the size of the text matter. We have to increase the size of the text matter on the drawing. This size is 2.5, it has to be increased to 25. That we will see how we can do it. See, what we have to do is we have to increase the size. For that, you go to the dimension pull down menu, or you can select somewhere in the dimension here, or you can select the style, that is called dimension style. You have to select the menu dimension style. Click on this, you get a screen on which it shows the dimension. ISO 25 is the dimension style, and it gives the properties of the entire dimension texts. This. And suppose we click on this modify. So on the modify, you will get all menus here. Once again, on the another screen will appear, and there will be menus. See the highlighted linear is highlighted, symbol is highlighted, text is highlighted now, it is highlighted, primary units, alternate units, tolerances. Now we have line height. First we will go to text. See text here, you see text height. So text height, as I told you, we have to increase to 25. It is 2.5 and we increase to 25. Suppose you make it 30, it becomes actual size of the letter will be 3. You can select whatever size you want, but it should be multiplied by the scale factor in order to get actual text size on the printed sheet. That is, the scale factor is 1:10 on a drawing. The text will be 10 multiply the height of the text on the drawing, on the printed sheet. Okay, it is reciprocal. One we have to divide actual size by the scale factor, and the other one is to be multiplied. So here we can make it text height 25, and this I will show you first. So the size has become bigger. See, all the sizes has increased now. And now we have to set other things also. But now see, the arrow mark is small now. So what we have to do is, we have to set the arrow mark also. Go there. So we have text size and fraction height, that I will come to you later on. And block, we will select the layer. Whatever layer you have for dimension, the same layer, the text matter will be there. I will come to that. And then the color. You can select for the dimension. See, color will be there for the dimension. You need not have any color for the dimension. It will be like this. Okay. And then standard. Here there is one standard. And here you see annotative. That I will discuss later on. Now at present, we will learn about this. Honor 2 is a new feature adopted after 2007 revision. So we'll discuss about the styles, standard style. Suppose here we click here, you get another text style menu. Here you have seen the same text style when I described you how to make text, edit text matters. So similar one will appear, and here there will be styles of various letters, say Arial, and you can select any of them. Arial, complex, so many styles are there. And suppose you select Arial, it's a regular, font size is regular, we can make it bold, we can make it, see here you can see how it varies. See, Italy, regular is like this, and italic it is like this. See here you can observe on all style below a screen on the all side, see how it appears. This is how it appears, more bold. Okay, so you can set anything, and height also you can set the height. For example, you set the height here, say 2.5. It's already there, but you can set the height. Width factor, it is the distance between the two alphabets. This let it be as it is. And this you apply. And this one you set as current. Okay. And then you close this screen. See here all this will get changed to this. And now you come to the symbols and arrows. See, there are different arrow sizes. This is arrows, different shapes particularly you have. Arrow closed field, that is, first arrow is one of these dimensions, one side of the arrow is first arrow, second is the other side of the dimension is called second arrow, and leader, we will come to leader later on. This is also, this is the shape. See, so the triangle filled in. And suppose the arrow size, normally you can keep the arrow size same as the dimension, or you can keep around 60% of it. Say for example, for simplicity, I will keep it not any hard and fast rule to keep what size, but we will keep slightly less than the size of the text. So I will keep it here 20. Okay. Then all these things, now it is jungled up, so I have to make a drawing a bigger size to explain it very clearly. I will just close this and see how it looks. See, arrow is dimension is 2.5 only, so style dimension I will slightly increase. I will increase this dimension style. I think I increased it, but it has not. See, modified text. Oh, it has not taken up the modified. I have changed standard. I think we have changed some text there. See, there was some mistake here. See, when we set this style, modify standard, here we have to set text height 25. Earlier I had set it 2.5. Suppose we set 2.5, it will be smaller only, and then see how small it is. It appears on the print, it is 0.2. So we have to set it there on the standard. Click. See, if we set it on the standard, you cannot set it here. So once we set it there, it is not necessary to set it, and that is why it doesn't allow it here to set once again. So if we do not set there, then we can change it here. See, here height, I will make it 25. Okay, then apply it. And this we will call it as set as current. This is the current one. What we are working with this. See, dimension increase. Suppose I click on this, and properties we ask, it gives you all properties. See, properties here. Click on this, right click. See, click, first click, and then you get grips up here. On this, once again, you right click, you have a pull down menu, and this you have properties. You click on the properties and you can see the properties here. It says color is white and layer is 0, the dimension layer is 0, line type it is by layer, and line scale 1, and by color line weight by layer, whatever layers color is there, the same weight is there, transparency by layer, and dimension style ISO 25 what we have already set. Okay, and similarly arrows closed field, allows closed field, and arrow size, and all those things have appearing now. See, all those things, arrow size, so properties will give you. And this is text offset. I will come to that later on. Text height. So text height is 25, I have set, it is 25. Suppose you want to change, you can change here. Also you can change. Only it affects that. Okay. So in the properties you can have. So you can change it. Now I will erase this. I will once again make a bigger drawing so that it is easier to understand dimensions clearly. So I will draw a bigger drawing. Say I will draw a size. Say 500. Or we'll say this, will say 2000, and here we'll say something like around 500. Just to consider this much. Now we will dimension this once again and see how it changes. See, first we will fix up the style. See, ISO 25. See, we can modify either here or we have already modified the standard. And suppose we don't modify here. Oblique angle we can enter if you want. So time. Now I will dimension this drawing. We have set it to the sizes 25, arrow symbol 20, lines. Here color by blocks we will make it as layers. Line type also by layers. I will tell you later on and explain you the block and other things. Everything we will set it to by layer. And now baseline spacing, I will let you know later on this. And extended beyond the dimension line. So this is the extension we get. Suppose we can change it. It should be beyond the dimension line. So this is called, I will draw it and then I will show you these things. So dimensioning, I will first dimension this. Here it is 2000 it is showing. See, if I click on this, its properties, it says 25. We can change it once again. If you want to change, you can change the size here. By selecting this, you can change the size here. and now I will not change it. It is here. And now we will see the properties of this dimension. Now the selected will appear here, standard. See the style, this one, see. The style here is, we can select a standard. This style here, it is selected as standard. Okay, here it appears whichever different standard you have selected, then it appears here. And the pattern is ISO 25, letter I mean. Okay, standard size. This is standard style. This is standard style. This is letter format, fonts ISO 25. So these two are there. Now I will just go back to style and explain some more things. See here, suppose I go to the text and click on this, and instead of Arial, you can change to some other format, whatever you want to, Century will say. So regular, apply this, just close it. Now you just see. So letter shape, things will change. See, it is 25, it is Century. Earlier it was bold italic, now it has changed to Century. Now similarly, I will show you once again. Go there, click here, you can modify the shape. Shape, this is called precisely as shape, type of a letter. See, suppose I select something else different than this. There are so many, suppose the Gothic we would say, apply this, close, close, close. See, the letter shape is changed. So like that we can change the shape of the letter. Here also we can change it. You want. If you change here, it is only for that particular one it is applied. Any size you can change. Okay, I will now resort to original size and shape. I will go to one specific shape for the explanation purposes. I will select one specific shape. I would prefer to select complex, very somewhere here it is, because some of them may not be there, but sometimes it is available. Here, I will select this, apply this. Okay, height is already we have selected there, so it's not necessary here. You can, height you can change here. If you want, you can change the height. 2.5 is in the drawing sheet you get. It is 25 height, letter height is here, and it is 2.5 in drawing sheet. Okay, now you notice closely this. See, there is a gap. So this gap is what I will explain. Because you need to have a gap. If it is continuous, then people may confuse it to the, it is a part of a drawing. So this gap is here, this here it appears. This I will tell you how we can modify. Lines here it is. So dimension beyond the, extend beyond the dimension lines. This one is called dimension lines. Extension beyond that is this 2 mm, and offset from the origin it is 0.62 mm. So I will change it now. Suppose for exaggerate 5. Let me see what is going to happen. See, it has gone. The gap is now increased to 5. Suppose we measure, it will be 5. It is approximately 5. See, it is 5. So similarly, here beyond this point, it is 2 we have set, it is 2. See, it is 2. So these are the meaning of that. Dimension beyond the line is, this is the meaning. See, this 2 is beyond the line, offset from the origin. Baseline spacing, this I will explain you. Now we are talking about the baseline dimension. See, here, this I am explaining you the baseline. Baseline spacing, this we are linear dimensioning we are doing, and baseline dimension spacing is not applicable here. I will let you explain those things when I come to baseline dimension. Okay? And now at present we are applying only the extension and other thing. And one more thing is, see here, the text matters. See here, vertical above, horizontal central, left to right. Here you observe what happens. Vertical above. Now the texts have been placed above the dimension line. Suppose you want to place it center, it becomes in between. Okay? And horizontal, same way. It is central and horizontal also. The vertical and horizontal both is centered. Suppose you make it above, it becomes above the line. Okay? Vertically above the line. Or if it is central, vertically it is center. Similarly, horizontal at extension line 1, extension line 2, over extension line, or I will just show you. This is at the center of the extension line. And now suppose I make this extension line 2. See, it has shifted to one side. Okay? And suppose I make it to the other one, shifted to other side. Okay? And over extension line means it is this side, above that line. And it is over extension line, the other side, it looks like this. Okay? Offset from dimension line. It is the offset. Whatever you require, it is how much it is shifted from one side. I can change this. Suppose exaggerated 10. What is going to happen? See, the gap is, this gap is increased. Okay? So now I will set it center both. Align with the dimension and ISO standard. See here, align with the dimension means the dimension here, this is it is aligned with this line. The text matter is aligned with this line. Like this, it is aligned. Whatever may be the angular line dimension is there, it is aligned. Suppose I want horizontal, it's always horizontal. See, horizontal. Aligned, we keep it aligned. So you can change depending upon the requirement. If it is always, it is horizontal. Its aligned means it is aligned with dimension line. It is in line with that. I think you understand these things. Now, I will close this. I will show you dimension, how it is done. I will erase these things. We can save if you want. And now we will come to the layers. See, dimension can be changed into a layer. Suppose this is the dimension, let us say. And at present it indicates 0 layer. Okay, you want to change to another layer. Last class we have learnt about the layer and layer properties also we have learnt about layer properties. So here layer properties manager is here. If you click it, see, it appears the menu here. So we can make new layers. Depth point layer is also a compulsory, it will be one layer will be there. We can make a layer. Click on this, you get layer 1 and layer 2. Layer 1 we call it as DIM, that is dimension layer. Oh, it didn't take up. Click on this, you will get it. Delete. If you click, you can change the dimension layer. See, DIM. The name you can change. Last time also we explained. and you can leave it as continuous. If you want to change the color, if you want to change the color to say this color, so continuous line and line weight, you can change the default, it is 0, 0, you can make it 0, 0 if you want. Any thickness you can take if you want. So, and you can leave it as continuous, and transparency, let it be there. I will not discuss now. Line type, color, and now you want to set it to the dimension to this layer. So what you have to do is click on this, and now let us see. Click on this, it is 0 layer. Once you click, this is selected, and click here, and click on DIR. So the layer is dimension. Okay, now suppose we draw, see here, ensure that the layer appears here. When you want to draw a line, then it will be the line, the dimension, the layer on which it appears is the layer of that line. Suppose I draw a line here. So it is DM layer. Okay, and now suppose I draw a line and it is set to 0. Then if I draw a line, it will be 0. But you can change this to DIM layer. Click on this, click here, layer is changed. Similarly, you want to back, click here, change to white line. Okay, this is how you can change the dimensions, layers, etc. Layer weight, everything you can change. You can edit by text formatting also, you can edit dimension. If you want to change the dimensions length. Suppose many times what you do is drawings are not made to the drawings are made to this scale. Sometimes drawings are not made to the scale, but dimension you want to give the actual component dimension, how much it should be. Then you simply change, but drawing are not to scale. So in such cases, you can edit this. Suppose the line is not drawn to the scale, so then you can say this, you want to edit it as, suppose I want this to read as 3000 mm. This has to be, that means it has to be 3000 mm size. When you manufacture, the length should be 3000 mm. I will erase this. I will draw once again. This we know linear dimension. Now we also know something about other dimension. Here we selected linear, and angular means we can align. This is align. Suppose we have a line like this and say I will move this line, and this is a component drawing, let us say. Okay, and you want to dimension this. In that case, you want to dimension this in the same direction. You want to dimension this, then what you have to click is this align. Click align, select this point, end point, select this point, it is align. Suppose you don't select align, then what happens? Either it shows horizontal and also it shows vertical. Okay, if you align, if you click it, dimension will be aligned with the line. So this is how you can have. So this is a aligned dimension. And now align, this we will discuss later on, and we will go to this coordinate dimensions. I will talk to you about the coordinate dimensions now. For that, I will explain some features and then we can discuss it. I will just erase these things. First, I will draw a component drawing to explain this coordinate dimension. Say 1. See, then trim it up. Trim this. You watch the trimming methods I am doing, so you know very clearly. Yes. So now we are discussing about this coordinate dimension, ordinate dimension. See, many parts you are going to machine on a CNC machine. When you do CNC machining, then you need to have the coordinate of each points. Suppose this is a plate, and besides there are holes also inside, like this. Like this, 2-3 holes here, and you need to know the distances from one reference data. So for that, what we do, you dimension from that reference datum x and y coordinates, and then it is easier to feed the coordinates on the machine, and you can machine the component. That will be easier. If you put linear dimension, every time you have to calculate from one side the dimensions. See, for example, I will put linear dimension here. Suppose I put this. I put this. Put this. This is a linear dimension. Like this. So this is the linear dimension, and I can also give dimension for this from here. Random. See, in this case, if you want to machine the component, then you have to select some datum. If you are doing it in CNC, suppose this corner you take it as a datum, then you need to know the dimension, the holes, the edges, all from this point. Then what you have to do is the dimension, the component is dimensioned like this, then you have to calculate the distance from this edge to this center, vertical and horizontal, similarly from here to here, vertical and horizontal from here to here, vertical and horizontal from here to here, vertical and horizontal from here, vertical and horizontal, like that. You have to calculate, and it takes time. So in order to avoid it, what we can do, if you know if the component is to be machined on a CNC machine, or you need to have the dimension as ordinate dimension, then what we can do is, we can dimension accordingly by selecting the toolbar ordinate. Okay. Can select the toolbar as ordinate. Now let us select it's very simple way. I select it here, select it, see it gives this line. Similarly, select, this is a point, these are the values, that is from the origin 00, from this point, this is the point. I will let you know how to select the data. These are the values from here to here, and then the other one, hole here, and hole, vertical coordinates, hole, like this. You move it conveniently, you can change it. Then hole, like this, and from here you want this, you can, I will erase this, it's not incorrect. So like that you can, and also suppose you want the size from here, you can do the same as this. So not necessary to give the size here, but you need to have vertical dimension. You can give vertical size like this. Similarly, another vertical dimension like this, horizontal, and so on and so forth. So now you have dimensions of each vertical and horizontal, but here you have dimension also. So here what you have to do, all horizontal dimension, you have to deduct the values from this, and you get the distance. From here to here, you deduct the value, you get the distance. But this is also a little bit, some calculation has to be done. So you want to avoid that also. So for that, what we should do, I will tell you. So this is not also not a very easy method of dimensioning, even though it is a coordinate dimension, it's not easy. But you want the datum to be 0. For that, what we can do, we shift the component to the datum line, the center line. You can shift the component to the center line, then you will get it. See, what I do is, I will shift this component, move, command move, we can type, you can shift this entire thing, and suppose you want to take this as a datum, or say, let us say this itself as a datum, shift to 0, 0. So we'll see. We don't know whether it has reached 0, 0, it's still not there. From here, 0, 0. So it has come to 0, 0. We can check it. It is 0, 0. Now we can see how we can dimension it. Still it is 4 point. See, now it has been shifted to 0, 0. And now we can dimension it. Now we have to shift it to 0, 0. It has come very close. But sometimes it is very difficult to shift exact 0, 0. So the best method would be, you just draw a circle at 0, 0. Absolute 0, 0. Absolute 0, 0, mark it. So you draw a circle. So this circle has 0, 0 coordinates. Okay, it is drawn at the absolute 0 coordinate. Now what you do is shift the object to the center of this circle. Shift the object to the center of the circle. Like this. Like this. It is shifted. Then you can erase this. Okay. Now you can dimension it. See, now I will take the dimension corner. See, it is 0, the vertical coordinates, and horizontal coordinates is also 0. Now from here, you can easily get xy coordinates. Suppose the coordinate of this point, here you click, this is 978, and then y coordinates, it is 0, or it is 5, it's not wrongly, it is not connected with that. So we have to zoom it to see exactly where it is. So you correct here, 0, and then coordinate to the center, 0, coordinate to the center vertical, this is horizontal, this is vertical, 0. So you can assume that this as vertical is either you can assume as minus or plus. You can always assume the way you need. Because it's downward, you can put a minus sign or leave it as it is and assume properly. Or select different center somewhere here, you can shift the component. Similarly, this 0. Similarly, this. Conveniently can place them like this. 1. One is already placed, so I have to place horizontal one. So put it. Horizontal is also there, 978. So that is also not required. You have placed. You can shift this the other side like this, and then this is that. This vertical dimension you need. Vertical, and then this horizontal dimension is same. Horizontal is changed, but vertical remains the same because same as this. And we can dimension once again, no problem. We can dimension like that. Similarly, we can dimension like this. We can can dimension. This is vertical. This is horizontal. So once again, this is vertical. This is horizontal, and this is vertical, and this is zero. Same. So now we have dimension this component. Now what we have to do, you have to shift the original place. So original place now it is not known. But what we should have done is, the original place you would have marked a central line. Suppose I will mark it now. This is central line. Original position. This end intersection point is marked. At the intersection point you have drawn a circle. Okay. So that circle, let it be remain there. Assume that we have drawn a circle at the intersection of these two lines before shifting the component. Okay. Now you can shift it to. Now you can shift the component to that position. So select the entire thing. Select the intersection point. Select properly. Then shift it here. Then you can erase. This is how we can do. Now see, the dimension remains the same. The item is selected and all dimensions are there. So I will sum up this. I will explain how we have done it. See, here what we have to do is, you have a component at a place, let us assume. You want to dimension it for suitable to machine on a CNC machine and taking it the coordinates of these points. There are 3 holes, there are edges 1, 2, 3, 4 edges, and all the corners should be dimensioned. For that, what we have to do is, the component is here. Now the component is at the junction of the component. You draw a circle like this. Okay, and then you shift the component to zero position. So for that you have to draw another circle at 0 position so that you can shift the component exactly to 0, 0. Select circle is to be drawn 0. Select 0, 0, absolute 0, 0. You have drawn a circle and shift the component. Shift the component, take this as a point and shift it here. Center of this. Now you have dimension. Assume that you have dimension now. Okay. Assume that you have dimension now. And then once again after dimensioning, you can shift the entire thing back to the position. Back to the position. Move, command. So I will show you briefly once again demo. We will have one more component I will write. So I will draw one more component. Simple component I will draw. So we have to dimension this component. What we have to do, and there is one or two holes also we consider. One hole here, another hole somewhere here. Now this component is here. Now we want to dimension. What we do is, I will repeating the same thing once again. First we draw a circle here. Okay, this circle. You have to ensure that circle is locked. It should not move. But this is the benchmark for bringing it back the component after dimensioning. So you select the component. Now I will tell you one more thing. I will make the circle layer as dimension layer. Okay. Now dimension layer, and now I will lock this. Okay. Now, even if you shift this, the circle will not be shifted because it is locked in the position. Then you can shift it. Now, I will do one thing. One more circle I will draw at absolute 0, 0. I have drawn a circle. And this also I will convert to a dimension layer. Okay? Now, I will shift this component. Center point, and here also right center point. Okay, I have shifted. Now what we do is, we have locked this. We'll unlock this. If you unlock, you can erase this. Without unlocking, you can't erase. If you want, you can erase this. Okay, for clarity. But don't erase this. Let it be as it is because you have to shift it back. So now we can dimension. So dimension, ensure that 0, 0 line. This is 0, and then this is 0, and then this horizontal. You dimension everything, no problem. This also indicates 0 if you put it like this, 0. Each point will have two coordinates, 1, 2. Like this. So you have dimension. Now you can shift this to the original position. Select it. Shift this. See, suppose you want to change the dimension layer. Now it is 0, 0. You want to dimension layer to change to DIM. Then what we can do is, we can select all the dimension layer and change it to DIM. Or if you knew earlier, you could have changed the beginning itself, you select DIM and draw the dimension. Suppose I selected this and draw the dimension, automatically we can draw in the dimension. Since we have not selected earlier, we have forgotten, intentionally I forgot. So we have 0, 0, we want to convert all these things to dimension layer. What we do is, we'll lock 0 line because it should not be disturbed. So lock 0 line, it remains as it is, and erase this. Don't lock it, we just left me. So what we have to do is, we have to, if you lock it, dimension is also 0, so that is also locked. So you can't lock it. And what we do is, one by one you change. Select like this. Like this all. If you cannot select all, first you select a few of them, click it, it doesn't change, dimension change, the remaining also you can select it. See, it has been changed. Suppose you want to hide the dimension, suppose you don't want to show it. Then what we do is, we off. Now you shouldn't move the component for any reason because then everything will be disturbed. So you have to switch on the dimension layer and then you can move. Okay, this is how we do coordinate dimensioning. Now the next class we will do about further on dimensions.